One factor I have found as a consistent pattern after studying many billionaires and successful people towards which businesses and CEOs and people will make the most money of all time is how frugal they are and how they don't care much about money. So every cent they have is reinvested into the business. Now, when you look at people like that, how can you possibly compete with them? It's not magic, it's math. If one person is spending all the money they get on yachts and expensive cars to show off to people, and the other is investing and reinvesting every dollar and cent that they get, you're going to lose out in the long run. And it's a rare trait for someone to be like this. There are people who, by brute willpower, will cut back even though they like buying expensive stuff. But there are the rare few who don't like buying expensive stuff at all, like Warren Buffett. They just like a simple life. The latter is probably the best because they're not building any resentment because they don't want to buy any of this stuff anyways. So that's just like, how do you compete with that? Because most people love to spend money. They love to buy stuff that they don't need, that they want, for their own enjoyment, not just for, Having said this, this is about measuring the people who will be the most successful and wealthy of all time. In the middle, there's plenty of millionaires that I've watched interviews of who do spend lavishly but still make a lot of money. And then there's a good amount of people who are like in between. Like they spend a good amount that they don't need to, but they're not like excessively spending. And they make a heck of a lot more. So if you're looking for that type of lifestyle, it is possible. But if you're looking to become the richest, most successful business owner of all time with the most money, that's a different story. Now, there are exceptions like Bill Gates. He has a multi-million-dollar mansion, and he does spend a good, he doesn't like show it off, but he has made a few splurges. So I don't think it's completely necessary. But it is one factor for getting ahead. The Patels, who have created an empire of hotels in the United States, that's what they did. They just saved and reinvested. They lived in the hotels, in the rooms that weren't being used. They didn't have to pay income tax because of that and other reasons. And then every cent they had was reinvested to buy another motel. So this constant lifestyle of frugal living just allowed this cash flow to just be reinvested and compounded until they had a huge hotel empire.
Your dad's house through the woods. You can't use the road. And basically, that's up the mountain, over the mountain, up through the woods.
There were like cows and bulls and stuff.
It was like it's too cold for snakes at this point. Sounded good.
But there were like big cows and stuff.
There were
big cows.
horses. Horses.
The horses are running towards us. That's when I did that.
Yeah, and so we take off, and we all kind of. I've never been in this part of the woods at this point.
Alright, I got a question from a follower, Emma. She wants to know some tips on how to, what to do as a teen and how to find where you want to go, what college you want to go to, and so one of the phrases she used was, how do I find what I want to do in my life? And I think that is way too early on. It may take until years after college to do so. I know I was told a lot and given this impression that you have to figure it out early and you have to figure out your job because you've missed the boat if you don't, and that's definitely not true. And there's a lot of books to back this up. So good they can't ignore you as well. Another book to prove this is Getting There by Jillian Zoe Siegel. There's plenty of case studies of successful people who changed careers multiple times. So don't beat yourself up too much if you haven't found your passion or purpose. Having said that, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take an active effort to go out there and try new things and see what you like and what you don't, and make sure you put in as much hard work as you can to do the best job you can in school and get good grades. Your GPA and your SAT scores or ACT scores are probably the most important things, other than the essay, for getting into a good college. Some people will say that college doesn't matter anymore. A lot of entrepreneurs will say this. I disagree. Yes, most of the things you'll learn in college won't actually be used in the future, but getting into a good college will give you networking connections and will help you out. So try your best to do so. If you can't, not a huge deal either. It does help if you do though, so try your best. As long as you put in your maximum effort, then you'll have no regrets there. If you don't get into a good college, even though you've tried your best, there's still plenty of successful people. There's a ton on smartpassiveincome.com that went to random colleges and now they're making a lot of money. So it's not the end of the world. For now, you want to focus on your GPA. Unweighted GPAs are more important than weighted GPAs. What that means is it's better to get straight A's with less advanced classes than to get C's and B's with advanced classes. If you have gifted and talented classes or advanced placement AP classes, don't take those unless you are pretty sure you can get an A or B in them. And on the side, find ways where you can start learning and growing and improving your skill sets so that in the future it will come to help you. One of my passions was video games, but playing video games every day was not something that led to a skill set for me. Related skill sets that could have been something I built included video editing or building a video game YouTube channel. It could be building a blog or a writing career or building a following on Instagram with cooking or web development or coding or arts and crafts. So if you start a process of lifelong learning and investing on the side, you will start to outpace your peers. And this usually involves learning through books, audios, something else. Or it can involve just learning through mentors or experience or YouTube videos on a specific skill and / or building an audience behind that. Building a social media following is just one of many paths. I think what's most important is that you ultimately test out a bunch of things and constantly grow and learn and develop a skill that contributes value to other people.